The main reason why I called
Yes.
was about the Glen Arno lawsuit.
Yes.
This was filed in 2009.
That is not true.
It's an alleged thing. It hasn't been proven yet.
This
It is
case
not true.
was filed in
It is not
2009,
true.
so the state is being sued along with Glen Arno. I have the lawsuit, George.
That is
You're
not
saying-
true. And you know it's not
You're
true,
saying-
caller.
No, I went to the
Look,
courthouse. I went to-
David, one of my employees is involved in a civil lawsuit. It's not a criminal lawsuit. He was never fired. He's involved in a civil lawsuit. I mean, people can file lawsuits.
I think what the senator said was there's a civil lawsuit. I believe that's what he said.
That's what I said, Dave. That's what I said.
The state is being sued.
That's what I said, Dave.
Okay.
You see, Dave, right away, you got it wrong, Dave. You got it wrong.
So this is definitely going on. And this guy, you know what they did to this guy? They still made him a Republican judicial delegate. They made him a Republican executive committee member when he's in this litigation.
I just want to make sure George gets this, along with Mark and everybody, okay?
All right.
So I'm just going to do this to document it, all right? So I got a video documentation. You received this. Because I was being told to carry a petition for that person, too.
Do you think it's correct
David.
do you think politicians should endorse one another? Do you think they should carry two elected positions?
Yeah, I think in America and in democracy, people can do that. I do think.
Okay. Don't touch my camera, please. All right. George,
Making fun of mentally handicapped people.
we're talking. You know, what do you think? What do you think about the Glen Arno
tell you
situation?
that-
What do you think about the Glen Arno situation? Do you think a sexual pervert should be working for the senator?
Parents of mentally handicapped
Do you think a
people.
sexual pervert should be working for the senator?
Parents of mentally handicapped people.
George,
saw
you're not
that video,
answering my
saw
question.
that video.
George, the congresswoman had no problem answering my question. How come you're running away from me? So, George, I dropped off the Glen Arno lawsuit. What did you think about that?
I told you, Dave, I don't make fun of people like you.
I'm talking about the Glen Arno thing, George.
Handicapped. You made.
No,
you made
there's a guy
video-
that's being
you made a
prosecuted.
video-
We're not talking
You
about
made
me,
a
George.
video of-
You're
Well, I'm talking about you.
you're making something
You-
up
you-
that isn't illegal.
You
There's things that are going illegal
making
in
fun
Niagara
of
County.
people that are mentally challenged.
Stop changing the
is
subject,
proper?
George.
Hello, Senator.
Out of Lancaster tonight, there is news of a sexual harassment settlement involving another woman who worked for the state Senate. Channel 2's Dave McKinley is here tonight to explain how your tax dollars are paying for it.
She worked in the Mahoney building back when the state Senate majority had an office there, where she claims she was sexually harassed, primarily by fellow staffer Glen Arno, also a former Niagara County legislator. In her 2009 lawsuit, she names the state, Arno, and an office supervisor who she claimed did nothing to stop the harassment. Her lawyer confirms the state finally settled with his client 3 months ago for $90,000, although he insists it was never about the money.
Once the people, Glen Arno and his supervisor, once they were gone, she was more or less satisfied that that justice was done. And
Arno moved on to another job before landing on the staff of State Senator George Maziarz while the lawsuit was still pending.
How do you hire a guy like this when he's got a sexual harassment suit hanging over his head?
Well, the answer is we didn't know about the sexual harassment suit.
Don't you check people out before you hire them?
You know, he worked for the Buffalo Niagara Partnership, had a great record there. We did not know about a civil lawsuit.
Because if you put his name in a Google search, you could find an article from 3 years ago mentioning this lawsuit.
Well, we didn't know about it, David.
But he insists when it did come to his attention while Arno was still working for him, while he didn't dismiss him,
Everyone has a presumption of innocence.
but he did put him on notice.
If you're found 1/10 of 1% liable, or you enter into settlement negotiations, you can no longer work here.
And Maziarz says when Arno advised him last November that settlement talks had begun,
And we accepted his resignation.
Maziarz's opponent in November says that was not the end of their relationship.
Mr. Arno was walking petitions for Senator Maziarz as well as candidates that Senator Maziarz put up on the Working Families and Green Party's line in this state Senate race.
He is a volunteer with the Republican committee. You know, I have hundreds of people who volunteer.
Arno did not answer the door at his home when we visited there to ask him about all this.
she's back in the workforce. She still lives with this.
And taxpayers are out $90 grand in settlement money and the time put in by lawyers from the state attorney general's office who had to defend the state employees.
Shouldn't he be paying for this? Why am I paying for this?
Absolutely. There has to, taxpayers paying for these settlements is absolutely outrageous.
So why am I paying for this?
It's got to be changed, I can tell you that.
While the plaintiff was awarded the monetary settlement under its terms, neither Aronow or the state admitted any wrongdoing. In the Information Center, Dave McKinley, Channel 2 News.
It's not proven yet.
This
It is
case
not true.
was filed in 2009.
It is not true. That is not true. And you know it's not true.
It's not proven yet.
This
It is
case
not true.
was filed in 2009.
It is not true. That is not true. And you know it's not true.
It's not proven yet.
This
It is not
case
true.
was filed in 2009.
It is not true. That is not true. And you know it's not true. That's what I said, Dave. That's what I said.
The state is being sued.
That's what I said, Dave.
Okay.
You see, Dave, right away, you got it wrong, Dave. You got it wrong.
It's not proven yet.
This
It is
case
not true.
was filed in
It is not
2009.
true. And you know it's not true.